Hey, good morning. Welcome to week 2. This week, we are going to start reading our book, The Lord of the Flies. So last week, you were able to collect a lot of background information that's going to help you understand the time period in which the book is set, and some other information that's important to understand. And then this week, we're going to go ahead and start reading. So the next 6 weeks are going to be very predictable. Each week, I'll post the 2 chapters for you to read, and then the book is 12 chapters long. So for the next 6 weeks, we're just going to be reading, doing the chapter questions, and then taking the chapter quiz each week. Then at the end of the 6 weeks, there will be a couple final assignments there at the end. So each week, what you're supposed to do is going to be posted where it says read chapters 1 and 2. That is going to be the hard copy of chapter 1 and chapter 2. Okay. This week, I'm just going to give you a little heads up. This week is going to be the longest amount of reading because chapter 1 and 2 are such setup chapters. That's going to have the most information and the longest chapters. So after this week, the readings will be a little bit shorter. So we just got to get through this one. So here's the start of chapter 2 down there. Once you've read it, then you're going to do the chapters 1 and 2 questions. And this will look very similar each week. So you'll have some vocab. So you'll look up these words, the part of speech, so noun, pronoun, preposition, what part of speech is it? What's the definition? You can look that up online. Just make sure that the definition you find matches the context in which the word is used in the chapters. So if there's a word that has more than one definition, just make sure you look in the chapters, find that word, and figure out which definition matches the context. Okay? And then use the word in a sentence of your own. So then the comprehension questions, they're broken up by chapter. So we've got chapter 1 questions and chapter 2 questions. So any white box, that is where you'll be clicking and recording your answer. So that is the assignment for this week. On Thursday, during our 8:30 meet on Thursday, the chapter quiz will be posted. And that's not going to be super long. If you've read the chapters, it should be fairly simple. So when it comes to the reading, I would encourage you, obviously, to read the actual story. But if you need to listen to it as well, you can go to YouTube. And if you just type in Lord of the Flies audio, this first one here by Jedman Fish is a really good one. It kind of has like background noises in the back, so it kind of feels like a movie rather than just listening to a book. So if you want to listen to it, that's great. I would highly, highly encourage you to listen to it with the text in front of you so you can really understand it and take it all in. Sometimes maybe if you're driving and you're listening to it, it's easy to get distracted and let your mind wander. So if you need to do that, there's that. It's broken up by chapter. It's pretty nice and convenient there for you. So this book is about, it's a group of boys that gets stranded on an island. There's no adults, and they have to figure out how to survive. So it's a little bit of a survival book, but more so it's about this group of boys trying to create order and rules. So in chapters 1 and 2, they're going to elect a leader. So really figure out which of the boys is elected leader and why. What is it about them that makes people drawn to them? And there's 2 boys that'll kind of be elected. And so pay attention to the differences between those 2 boys and which boy do you think will be a better leader at this point and why. You're going to see the group is going to have this kind of a conflict between their civilized instincts and their like savage and barbaric instincts. So pay attention to when that comes about. And so with these boys that they elect the leader, they're going to basically be trying to set up their own society. So pay attention to the morality. So how do they decide right versus wrong? How do they decide who gets what roles? How do they kind of set up this society for them to be able to survive? And do you think it's going to be sustainable? Do you think it's going to work? People are going to stay bought in? Or do you think it's going to kind of fall apart? So that is kind of chapters 1 and 2. it really does introduce you to a lot of different characters. So pay attention to how they introduce you to the different boys, and kind of what do you think about each character, okay? So if you have any questions at all, please email me. Don't hesitate to email me at any time. And the attendance word this week is stapler. Okay, stapler. So if you missed our meet this morning, go ahead and email me the word stapler, and I'll get you counted for your attendance. All right? Have a great week.